What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another Nick 4K video. Today we're checking out a video from Adam Does Movies, and he's going to be covering The Acolyte has been canceled. Has Disney learned anything? So for those of you who may not know, I did not watch The Acolyte. I had foreseen after a lot of different previews and from other early reviews, before episode 1 even came out, that it was pretty rough. And I knew, especially with Kathleen Kennedy still at the helm for some reason, it was going to be rough and bad and people were not going to like it. And guess what happened? Exactly what you think. It got canceled. So no more Acolyte for now. They'll probably be taking that storyline and maybe doing books and stuff out of that. But for right now, TV show canceled. So we're going to be covering that in this video with Adam. And yeah.
The Acolyte, the celebrated Disney Plus show that everyone loved from top to bottom, has unfortunately, criminally, unjustifiably been canceled. The Acolyte had a strong start with 4.8 million viewers tuning in to see just what Disney was cooking up in the kitchen. Globally, that number hit 11.3 million viewers. But unfortunately, that number would dwindle by the time the season finale rolled around. Really, the series finale at this point. And so it is with the heavy shart. I tell you today that the Acolyte will no longer return for another season.
Oh no, who didn't see this coming?
I think the saddest part in all of this is I probably will never be able to say the power of one, the power of two, the power of many ever again. They didn't even get to the power of two. It was canceled after one season. 8 episodes. So pathetic. I covered the first season of The Acolyte, went episode to episode breaking down what happened, much like I did for The Mandalorian last season, which was dreadful. Not as bad as The Acolyte, but it was pretty bad. But Disney's all about the money. Had The Acolyte continued to get viewership throughout the season, we would absolutely see another season. The Mandalorian is getting a movie because of this, even though the show sucks now. But I'm sad about The Acolyte not continuing. Not because it was a good show, it was a terrible show, but because it really helped my channel growth. Every time I put out one of these videos, I would see a bunch of new subs come in, and I appreciated that.
Even though crazy.
It was forcing me, Star Wars pun, to have to watch this terrible show. So I think it's only fair that we serenaded a little bit with a song by Nickelback.
It does make you wonder, Is content now just this, like hate watching? Am I watching this because I can hate watch it, make a video, and then make money off of that view? It's a good question, and it makes you wonder how many people watch this show in the first place and shows like this just to hate watch it, and not just to make content. Like some people just watch to just talk crap about it to themselves or to their friends. That is crazy. This show's mostly popular because of it being bad. That's sad for Star Wars in general, but also just for TV. It's very, very disappointing.
Look at this photograph. Every time I do, it makes me laugh. How am I gonna get subscribers like I did again? It's only a matter of time before Disney tries their hand at another Star Wars show. In fact, they have several in the works, and that's really what I want to get to today. Has Disney learned its lesson? Are they listening to the fans out there, the middle-aged crybabies like myself that didn't want the Acolyte? And this isn't only a Disney problem with Star Wars, it's a Star Wars problem with Star Wars. Because we had this disconnect between different trilogies. The first one, very much a serialized, pulpy, fun sci-fi adventure with a ragtag crew, cracking jokes, getting out of bad situations. It gets serious at times. It definitely upped the ante with Empire Strikes Back. Then it kind of dipped backwards into the dumb, silly crap with The Return of the Jedi. But overall, the trilogy was fun, it was engaging, it had iconic characters, memorable moments. There's a reason it's one of the most memorable special trilogies of all time. A lot of years passed in between, and we get the prequels, which go a completely different direction with the same director. Lucas wanted to really dig into the Jedi, the lore, everything about these characters, the Sith, a lot of talking about spice trading and shit, but it also had the kiddie nonsense in it with Jar Jar Binks and Jake Lloyd pod racing into our hearts or something. But then again, it gets really dark by the third film. So two different trilogies, two
I guess you wore the same shirt.
tones all around. And then you have the new Rey trilogy, which tried to emulate what came before, succeeded at first, fell on its face when it had to come up with some original stuff on its own. And ever since then, Disney has had such a hard time trying to figure out where Star Wars should land. And instead of taking chances with new things, it continuously goes back to the same old crap we've seen a million times. Even in The Mandalorian, we have references nonstop. We bring in Boba Fett for some reason. There's prequel crap thrown in from the animated shows like the Clone Wars. The Acolyte seemed like a first real attempt to try something new. Not really married to anything that came before it, since this is set 1,000 or so years prior to the prequel films. Naturally, by the time episode 8 comes around, we're gonna get a cameo from Yoda, and it's gonna end that way for some reason, because they just cannot resist going back to the nostalgia well. Alien Romulus is in theater.
He made a good example. Like, we're all like, come on, Disney, make something original. And then they made something original, and we're like, oh, wait, hold on. Never mind. Don't do that again. Please don't do that again. So, I don't know. The thing about The Acolyte that makes me the most, I wouldn't say mad, but more just like annoyed, is that it really had some cool potential. It reminds you of the sequel trilogy so much. Not because of the content inside of it, but because of what, like, what it could have done. What it could have actually pursued. The stories that could have taken different characters here and there. It had this idea, and it could have done something so awesome, and it just squandered it. And that's pretty much what the issue is with the Star Wars. Kathleen Kennedy in charge of it. It's just time for her to go. Like, I think it's just fair to say that. I think we've all known that for years, but I think we're officially at the point where it is time for her to go. I don't know what they got to do. It's just time. It's time for her to move along. Bring in a new creative. Obviously, woke isn't making money, and that's just what it comes down to. That's the deep cut here. I know people are gonna get mad at me for saying that, but like, the woke culture, it's not making money. Marvel has now realized that. They're going to start fixing their issues. Time for Star Wars to realize it too. Start actually making fun stories instead of trying to send a message. Like, stop doing that. It's not working. We've tried it now for what, 6, 7 years now, 8 years. Stop. Just make good movies. That's it. Get good creatives in charge. Get rid of Kathleen Kennedy. She has been there for way too long. Her time is way overdone. You know what I mean? She's ready to go. Get her out of there. It's obviously time. And I don't say that as someone who is a massive hater of her. She has done some great things in the past. She's one of the most famous producers. She actually worked on like the Indiana Jones movies. You know what I'm saying? Like, she says she's done some great things. But it's time for her to go. That's just it. And maybe not just go, maybe be a consultant or something, but we got to get a new creative lead in charge there. Someone's got to effectively take that spot of being able to choose what happens next. I'll go ahead right now. I'll put my name in the hat. Go ahead, contact me, Disney. I will fix Star Wars for you, for sure. And then you can also send me to Marvel. I'll help them out too. I'm available. So if you want to contact me, let me know, Disney.
As of filming this, I said this in my video, and I'll reiterate it again. I don't give a crap if you want to do the nostalgia bait, if you want to reset the timeline, get things back on track like Alien Romulus did, like Jurassic World did, The Force Awakens, even the recent Twisters. They all have a very similar feel to the first films in their respected franchises. It's after that when I get really annoyed. If you can't do anything new or fresh, don't bother at all.
Yeah.
If Alien Romulus 2 comes out, or whatever they're gonna call it, and they just do aliens again?
But Adam, don't you know, Adam? Money, Adam. Money. That's what it comes down to. Don't you know, Adam? Money, Adam. You know that. Come on, Adam.
Or catchphrases taken from those franchises, yeah, I will roll my eyes and say, no, we're done. This whole thing is so freaking stupid now. Walk away, shut it off. But looking at The Acolyte, I don't actually know who the hell this show was for, because it had this Mary-Kate and Ashley flashback shit with the little girls running around, but then it would go to like sexual tension, naked Sith guys swimming around in the ocean. What? It was just a complete mess, and I don't know who the demographic for this was. The only shows coming back that I know of are Andor Season 2, which a lot of people really enjoyed. I honestly couldn't get through it. It was just a little too slow and boring for my taste. Maybe I'll go back to it, because it does seem at least competently made, clearly going after an older audience, not having all that kiddie garbage. It has a tone, and it's following through with it, which is great. And then Ahsoka, another show I didn't bother watching, but I heard good things about that one as well, based on a popular character from, again, the animated show. These shows make sense because they have audiences. Rogue One was a pretty solid Star Wars flick. I enjoy that one quite a bit. So you bring in the adult audience. Ahsoka, again, popular character. You have a younger audience, plus you get adults that grew up with the show. Easy wins there. It makes sense. The Acolyte has no place anywhere. It was poorly written. Like, I can't stress enough how stupid this show was. The acting wasn't great. Most of the characters were one-dimensional and lame. And the Jedi here are so unimpressively incompetent, I couldn't wait for most of them to be killed. It sounds like the head of Star Wars right now, Kathleen Kennedy, super beloved by the community all around. She's on her way out. She wants to do one big last hurrah in Star Wars, which is probably going to be the Rey thing that's coming out, that one movie. I don't know. I think a lot of damage has been done. Star Wars is still obviously super popular, but my kids don't care about it, really. They're not excited about anything, and that's how you know they screwed up. Disney should have all these kids excited and enthralled and captured like we were growing up with Star Wars.
That's true.
But it was so much so fast. Several movies, several TV shows, animated shows, all across the board, oversaturation. They need to calm down, come up with a game plan, make something that reaches a broad demographic, has that perfect tone that I do think Force Awakens had. They nailed it visually, with the characters, with the settings. It was a retread. And at the end of the day, it's not looked back on that fondly because The Last Jedi follows it. And then it all falls apart with that final installment. But yes, we need to pour one out for the Acolyte. It's over, which, you know, it's kind of bittersweet because even though it was a terrible show, I really appreciated all the viewers it brought in for the channel. so it'll be missed.
Hey, you know,
rest assured,
a win's a win.
Disney will be back with something else, I'm sure, in the future to annoy me just as much. All right, those are my thoughts. Let me know yours. Are you sad by this news? Were you actually on board with this show and you were kind of fascinated by some of the questions
I never
posed?
cared. I didn't care.
Or were you like me and you thought, yeah, no, this was bad. This was bad across the board. Do better, Disney. Don't make these cheap cosplay knockoffs of Star Wars, a massive billion-dollar franchise. Let me know in the comments. Please like the video and subscribe. I post movie content, sometimes TV content like this one, every single week on the channel. Would love to have you stick around. If you like hearing me rant, I have a second channel, Adam Does Rants, where I do just that, and only that, about first world problems, like people watching TikTok videos in public at max volume on their phone. Why? We have headphones. We've had them for a long time. Things like that. Really, really serious stuff going on over there.
Yeah, his channels are good.
I would love to see you there as well.
I love both
and
his channels.
If you love what I'm doing, maybe think about supporting the channel. I'm a one-man operation at patreon.com/AdamDoesMovies. I would appreciate it. Take care.
There you go, guys. So I'll leave a link to that in the description below. But he's right. I don't know. From what I've seen from Marvel's side of things, they seem like they learned a lesson. And we're gonna see how Disney. We're gonna see how Disney does with Star Wars. We're gonna see if Star Wars has learned its lesson too. But what do you guys think? Are you happy about this? Are you sad about this? Did you actually like the Acolyte? And if you did like it, let me know in the comments below. Why did you like it? Let me know. I actually want to hear. I hear a lot of negative things about the show. I have yet to hear anything positive really. So let me know in the comments below. What did you actually like about it? But that's it for now, guys. Thanks again for watching. If you want to see more like this, and you have any ideas for future videos you want to see me react and review to, let me know in the comments below. If I use your suggestion, I'll give you a shout out in that video. But thanks again for watching. I'll catch you later. Peace.